conversations with 4 women that I love and adore. And today I am talking with Gina Lewis. Not related to me, even though she very much could be, because when I met her, we just connected immediately. She is a fashionista and a buyer and a brand strategist and just an overall cool girl. And we sat down to talk about strategy and transitioning and making the life that you want.
My name is Andrea Lewis. This is my guest, same last name, Gina Lewis.
Low-key cousin.
Low-key cousin. So I met Gina through our mutual friend CJ, but I just liked you. I did. I was like,
I think it's Leo energy.
Yeah, I was like, there's something about it that's really interesting. I hit you up specifically to find out more about brand and partnerships and strategy and all that stuff. Literally had no goals on the meeting.
Well, I guess when you're on a journey of being in a new area,
yes,
you just kind of open yourself up to new things and new people.
Yeah,
you could just move in spaces and you're like, oh, okay.
No, because she's completely new to LA. A year so far, a year and a half. 2 years in LA.
Is that still new?
To me, it is.
I feel like if you're trying to make it home, it's new.
Yeah, you know what I think? Okay, I honestly think there's an initiation period in LA. I think it takes 3 to 5 years before this is your home.
Yeah.
If you can make it to 3 years, you're actually killing it. And 5 years, you're like, what? You're a local native at this point.
You told me something else. You said, what is it? If you've been on a real date in your first year.
Oh my God, then you're killing it.
Then you really like doing it.
Wow, I forgot that you've been on dates. I've actually completely forgot that. No,
you really
thriving in Los Angeles.
I came from Boston, so that city in itself was not ultimately where I saw myself. So I'm like, okay, well, here's all the things I want to see in LA. And if I don't make one friend, I'd be fine just exploring this city by myself. I think being really open to the experience of like, what does this look like if it's just me doing it?
Yeah.
Am I okay with it?
Okay.
Because this is a lot. The city is a lot.
Yeah.
So you gotta really be like, okay with, hey, well, if it's just me, it's cool.
Yeah, like you don't need a relationship here, right? Like you can just be you and do you and have no real expectations on it.
I wasn't from Boston. I lived in Boston for 8 years. And so I've already done this once before.
You've made the big leap. You've done something new. You've had to refine yourself and re-explore.
You know that it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time to make something a really good thing. And you just kind of have to let it happen organically. And I mean, this is what I tell myself. In practice, it's still like, oh, shoot, I ran into a wall again. But in theory, you're just trying to always be like.
I think it's self-awareness, though.
Self-awareness.
Because that's the thing is like what you're essentially saying is that you're aware that it's going to be hard.
This isn't the first time I've moved to a new place. I moved for the first time from California to Florida in the middle of 8th grade.
Yeah.
So that's the worst time at 13. That's awkward. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, you don't know what you're doing.
Living in Florida, uproot. I'm going to go for this career in Boston. I'm just going for the job. I don't know anything else about this place. I've never even seen snow. I don't know this life. Because you have to build community from scratch, it's like, all right, well, I have to just get myself out there in other ways, and that's how you kind of build community. So here, I love creative people. I love being around creative energy. That's part of the reason why I wanted to come to LA.
Yeah.
And so it's hearing people's stories. What do they want to do? How can you help them? Because this journey is hard. Creativity, anything in the arts, it's not defined. You want to be a lawyer, go to law school, you pass the bar, you do these things.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to do anything else that's not that manufactured, you need support.
Yeah.
Along the way. And I found that you just meet so many interesting people and being able to just be in a position to listen. Okay, what do you need help with?
Yeah.
What am I good at? What can I do? And it helps build friendship and camaraderie and relationships. And that's kind of what I think has at least helped maybe in the process a little bit. So
ultimately you could come to you with any idea. And I think what you're very good at navigating is the strategy on how to get that done. But I think building strategy confidently is a skill set.
Ooh, I like that.
I really do think it's a skill set. I think not everybody is very good at coming up with a strategy for themselves. And I think that's why the arts is interesting, at least for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a strategy fanatic. I love seeing strategy. I love dissecting somebody's strategy.
So I guess maybe you hit the nail on the head. And that comes from my career has been in buying, in which all I do is see what people make and how do they make it and how do we get it to a place that someone can consume what it is that you make. It's the same thing that can be applied to your artistry or whatever that is. So when people have a vision, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, so what's step one?
Yeah.
So just wanting to be an activator for people can champion you, people can give publicity, people do all these things. But it's like, okay, but how are you going to get it done?
Yeah.
You identified like all the things that you need to make that thing happen.
Yeah.
I guess I'm passionate about it because it's part of my personal journey, and I knew I wanted to come to LA. I knew I wanted to be here. Okay, so how you gonna do that?
Yeah.
You live in Boston. Your company's headquartered in Boston. Okay, how are we gonna make this roadmap happen?
Yeah.
But with vision, I got there.
Yeah.
And now it's like you're moving in the direction of whatever that vision is that you created.
Do you think that you have like, I guess like a formula for transitioning?
I don't think it's until I've gotten to this move, because this move was so important to me. I'm like, okay, this is ultimately where I want to be. You have to kind of think back to like, okay, well, how have I done this successfully beforehand? Did I experience similar things beforehand? Oh yeah, I did. So then that normalizes when things kind of get like, ooh, like that's uncomfortable. Right?
Yeah.
Anytime you start to feel those uncomfortable triggers, you just kind of refer back to like, how did I move past it beforehand? When did I feel uncomfortable beforehand? Did it pass? Yeah, it passed.
Okay.
So you just kind of have to give that time.
It's almost like muscle memory.
It's muscle memory.
It's like knowing that certain feelings mean this.
Yes.
And so how to get, you know what I just discovered for me is that when I am in a space of like ultimate insecurity, I'll be convinced that I need to cut my hair.
Really? Okay, see, I did that once.
I have done it. That's how I know.
Yeah.
That I've done it and it's a sabotage. Like aesthetically, I actually like long hair.
Yeah.
On myself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, every time I do it,
It's some symbol of like...
it's an actual sabotage.
Yeah.
So I had this conversation once with a friend about control, taking control of things or feeling things are out of control.
Yes.
And so you try to then control something.
Yes.
Typically, I try to control the thing that's actually easiest for me.
Again, it's that like fixing. You go
Yes.
into what can you fix?
But it's the easiest thing.
right.
And
I
not,
can't fix these things over here.
So let
but
me
I can
go.
focus on-
And that's how you have to know that it's a trigger for self-sabotage.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I think that in this particular transition, because again, I'm year 2 in, is learning how to sit in the
that.
discomfort.
That's the thing.
And not do anything.
Not do anything.
And what happens when you don't do anything, all of it starts coming up and you're like, oh gosh.
What is going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's wrong with me?
But that's the healing part. That's the healing part. That's the
100%.
part that takes you to the next space. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's not even like that thing.
yeah.
It's just that, well, by you having this passion, you pursuing this thing is going to move your journey in a certain way to introduce you to a person or have this type of experience or whatever that is. And so sometimes you just kind of have to like lean out of it and just go with it.
When did you know that you were good at strategy, though? Was it just more so having passion and being on the outside looking in at people?
Maybe so. I mean, my dad was a journalist and he passed away in 2011. So
Okay.
I was just out of college, 1 year out of college.
Yeah.
And my dad wrote stories about Black people, about Black communities, about family for over 20 years. And
Yeah.
we have this like amazing written legacy that my dad committed to just asking questions and what are you up to and what's going on with you? And, you know, his direction was so pointed and like, I don't want to be a journalist. I have my own passions but I apply that same thought process to making sure that you're intentional with like what you want to do. That's your life story and who knows how much time you have. So anytime you meet someone who's like on a trajectory, they're tapping into it, but other things like have them distracted, but you see like
You
the
can just
light.
see it. Yeah.
You know, you just know. So you're like, okay, well, how do we help you? If I have something that I can do without breaking my, you know, not saying not break my back.
No, but true.
Within the scope of what I can do, how do we help you get there? Yeah.
You genuinely do light up on, like, well, you have big ideas.
I love a good to-do
How can I
list.
help you? Which is why I said this to one of my friends after we had met. I was like, you know what? I went and got Leo'd the other day. A Leo did to me
Wait, and you know
what
what?
I do to other Leos.
I had out here, it's just hard. Being creative is hard.
Being
You're
creative is
doing
so
things
hard.
for the first time.
I think about our meeting and I appreciated it so much because you were like, listen, she was like, well, like, what do you need? Do you want me to just like be your think buddy or something? Like, do you you just need to like put the ideas out and somebody listens? And I was like,
Actually, maybe that is what I need. Well, because, you know, time is like the ultimate money. That's one thing, but like your time is so limited.
It's so limited. And then sometimes you need to say the stuff out. And you need to say it to creatives.
And I think that's kind of like I'm a little bit of balanced mix. Like my background, I have a business background. So, you're looking at product, it's creative, you're trying to hear the maker's point of view, but then you're like, well, someone ultimately has to like consume this thing. So like, what does it mean? And what are the implications? Like, what's all this? So it's like almost like being able to look at both sides and say like, okay, I hear it, and I'm a Leo. So I'm just like, I love the passion. Okay, but ooh, maybe that's not quite how we want to, you know, but you can say it in a way that people are going to understand.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so where can people find you if you want them to find you, mind you? I know you're a private person in your own way.
Kind of.
I know, at least your Instagram.
I'm on Instagram.
Tell us.
It's Miss Gina Lewis.
Okay. Miss like MS or MIS?
MISS.
Okay.
GINA. LEWIS.
Yes. We're going to start a band, Lewis. Or somebody gave us a whole business and I told her to write it down, Leo and
That's
Lewis.
right. I thought we're not supposed to say anything.
I'm saying it. It's
going to be a candle company.
Because it's going to be something.
It's going to be something.
I just believe in that. So thank you so much. This has been absolutely lovely.
Fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Awesome.
This is awesome.
Thank you so much to Gina for sharing a bit of your story with us. Thank you to you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below, and share this video with any of your friends who you think may like it. Bye, guys!